Well, now take down your fishing pole and meet me at the fishing hole. We may not get a bite all day, but don't you rush away.
Hi there, and if you haven't already figured out what this video is from the opening, well, let me refresh you. A couple of days ago, beloved American icon Andy Griffith passed away. So this video is going to be an overview of Andy Griffith's life. Andy Griffith was born Andy Samuel Griffith on June 1st, 1926 in Mount Airy, North Carolina. From a very young age, Andy enjoyed acting and singing. One of his very first roles was that of in The Lost Colony, which is still being played today in Manteo, North Carolina. Andy found his knack for comedy in the 1950s with a series of monologues. His most famous monologue was What It Was Football, a humorous monologue about football through the eyes of a hillbilly.
I seen that evening the awfulest fight that I have ever seen in my life. I did. They would run at one another and kick one another and throw one another down and stomp on one another and grind their feet in one another and I don't know what all. And just as fast as one of them would get hurt, they'd tote him off and run another one.
Andy's career flourished throughout the 50s. In 1955, he starred in the TV play No Time for Sergeants, about a country boy in the United States Marines. From there, he starred in the Broadway version of No Time to Sergeants, this time with longtime friend and collaborator Don Knotts. In 1957, Andy starred in his very first film, A Face in the Crowd, the story about a manipulative country boy who becomes a famous TV presenter, as well as a stab in the political field. In 1958, he starred in the film version of No Time to Sergeant, this time again with friend and collaborator Don Knotts. It was from here Don Knotts and Andy Griffith's career took off. In 1960, Andy guest starred on the hit series Make Room for Daddy, starring Danny Thomas, wherein he first portrayed his role of Andy Taylor of Mayberry. This episode was the backdoor pilot for, well, you know. From 1960 to 1968, The Andy Griffith Show was one of America's favorite TV shows, and is still today. Andy starred as lovable Sheriff Andy Taylor. Don Knotts starred as the equally lovable but bumbling deputy Barney Fife. Ron Howard as his son Opie. His sister and housekeeper Frances Bavier played Aunt Bee, and of course the dozens of citizens that made Mayberry one of America's favorite towns of all time. Throughout the 70s, Andy appeared in a slew of TV movies and regular appearances on talk shows and game shows. In 1968, Andy once again portrayed lovable Sheriff Andy Taylor in the hit TV movie Return to Mayberry. Also in 1986, Andy starred as Ben Matlock on the hit series Matlock. Andy's career continued throughout the 90s, including a reunion special for The Andy Griffith Show. He also returned to his musical roots, recording albums of hymns. His most famous album was 1996, I Love to Tell the Story, 25 classic hymns. Andy was also involved in politics. In 2008, he showed his support for Obama in a series of campaigns, as well as, once again, reprising the role of Andy Taylor, this time with Ron Howard reprising his role of Opie. On July 3rd, 2012, at the age of 86, Andy Griffith died of a heart attack. Andy Griffith is and always will be an American icon of film and television. He will also be remembered more than just being lovable Sheriff Andy Taylor of Mayberry. Here's to you, Andy Griffith. Thank you for entertaining not just myself, but countless of others. Thank you, and we will deeply miss you.